So we will talk first about the parent function, which is what cubed root cube root of what of x. So this is the parent what the parent function. Okay, so the shape of this graph is like this. So it's always take this shape. This point, its name is what? Inflection point. Inflection what? Point. So this is my key. When I draw what? When I draw it. So we start from the inflection point, and we will go up like this, and we will go down here like this. So this is the shape of what? This is the shape of the cube root what? Cube root function. You will notice that we have no uh, um, we have no restricted number, so that means with the cube root you can use a positive number or a negative number. Because of this, the domain are all real number. The domain of the function are all real number. So it goes to infinity here and to negative what? Negative infinity. That means the domain is from negative infinity to positive what? To positive infinity. Okay, and the range also, this graph will go up to infinity, and this part will go down to what? To negative infinity. That means that the range also from negative infinity to what? To positive infinity. So both the domain and range are what? Negative infinity to positive what? Infinity. Or all real number, or we can say all real number. Uh, we have a symmetry point. This point is the inflection point. Its name what? Its name also point of symmetry. Point of what? Symmetry, because the graph after it and before it are what? Are the same. They are like what they. It looks like they make what? Make a reflection about what? About this point. Okay. So because of this, we name it point of what? Point of symmetry. So this point is point of symmetry. It's inflection what? It's inflection point. Okay. The end behavior, I think we studied before, the end behavior of this function. So as x approach to infinity, y approach to infinity. And here, the other side, the other end, as x approach to negative infinity, y also approach to negative what? Negative infinity. So this is the parent function. And the translation or transformation will apply on this what? On this function, like we always did with what? With the previous function. If you add a number with x inside the bracket, so that means the function will the function will be translated either left or right. Left or what? Right. How do I know? We'll take the number with x with opposite what? With opposite sign. With opposite sign. So if it is positive, that means it will be negative h. That means it will be more translated h unit to what? To the left. If the number is out here, that's mean what? That's mean the function either translated up or down. If it's positive, so it will be move up. If it is negative, so it will move what? Move down. Here also, if h is positive, that means positive. That means to what? To the left. To what? To the left. If h is negative, that means it will translate it to what? To the right. Okay. Uh, the sign refer to what? Sign refer to reflection about x what? About x-axis. What is the meaning of reflection? And instead of taking this shape, so this one will go down like this, and here it will be go up like this. This is the meaning of what? This is the meaning of reflection. If we have what? If we have negative sign before what? Before the cube root like this. Okay. Now let's take example. We wanted to describe what? We wanted to describe the characteristics of the graph of what this function. That means we wanted to find the domain and range. Okay. And we wanted to find what? We wanted to find the inflection point. Inflection what? Point. And the end behavior. The end behavior. Okay, so as we know, the domain and range are negative infinity to infinity. Domain and range also negative infinity to what? To infinity. Now, what about the inflection point? So to find the inflection point was parent function 0 and 0. So the translation will what, guys, will be what will affect the inflection point. So we will study what? We will study here what the translation happened with this one. Okay, so the translation here we have a -2. That means the inflection point moved what, guys? Moved 2 units to the right or to the left. Moved 2 units 2 units left. 2 units what? Left. Okay. So that means we will add here what? We will add 2. So the inflection point will be 2 and what? 2 and 0. 2 and what? 0. Now what about the end behavior? This ends. This is go to infinity and go down to negative infinity. This one will go to negative infinity to x and positive infinity was what? Was y. So the end behavior as x approach to infinity. So as x approach to infinity, so y approach to negative what? Negative infinity. This is the description of this. What about this one? As x approach to negative infinity, y approach to what? Approach to infinity. This is the end. You will notice that we have what? We have a negative sign here. What is the effect of this sign? This sign will make what? Will make the graph of the function reflected about what? About the x-axis. So let me take you back. The shape should be like this. From the inflection point, go up. So after the inflection point, up. Before the inflection point, down. Okay? But if it has a negative, so it will be reflected. It will be what? Reflected. So after, before the inflection point will be go like this, and after it will be go down like this. So let me show you. So this is so this is the inflection point originally. Originally the inflection point or the parent with the parent function, the inflection point should be at this point. But because the translation happened here, it's moved 2 units to what? To the left, to the, sorry, not to the left, to the right. To what? To the right. So it's moved 2 units to the right. So this is the inflection point. So I should graph it like this. After it, go up. And before it, I should go what? I go down like this. But because we have what? Because we have a negative sign, so it will be reflected about what? Reflected about the x-axis. So this part will be go down here, and this part will be reflected and go up. Okay. So let me show you the a table. Yeah, this table, guys, show you everything. So the inflection point is we will take the number with x with different sign and the number outside the root with the same sign. So it tells you, it gives you what the inflection point. So the inflection point is what is h and k. So we'll take the number with it with what with the same sign. Okay, guys. So this is the inflection point. Okay. So let's go back again. Okay. Also, we wanted to describe this and see what happened. Okay. So we wanted to describe the characteristics of the graph. So we wanted to find the domain, range, inflection point, and end behavior. End what? End behavior. Okay, so let's start. So the domain is constant, guys, negative infinity and infinity. Range also negative infinity and infinity. The inflection point will take this number with negative side with opposite sign, so it will be negative 3. And the number, do we have number outside the root? We don't have, so it will be what? It will be 0. So negative 3 and 0, so this is the inflection point. The end behavior, so this is my graph. So as x approach to infinity, y will be approach to negative what? Negative infinity. As x approach to negative infinity, y will approach to what? Approach to infinity. So this is the end behavior as x approach to infinity, y approach to negative what? Infinity. And as x approach to negative infinity, y approach to what? Approach to infinity. Also, we have what, guys? So what is the transformation affected the function? Who can tell me, guys, what is the transformation happened here? Do we have translation? Do we have reflection?
Yes, Mister, because of the negative.
So we have reflection, guys. So this one, if we don't have, so the parent function should be like this, from 0. So the parent function should be drawn like this, guys. Okay, this is the parent what? The parent function. So, but the inflection point, it's moved what here? Move 3 units to the left, 3 units, because we'll take this to with a negative sign. So that means the inflection point will move 3 units to what? To the left. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the inflection point moved from this to this. So will be here. So I should make it like this. I should make it like this. That's right. Because I keep it like this. But because we have a negative sign here, so the graph will be what? Will be reflected about the x-axis. So this branch will be reflected to go down, and this branch will be go up, reflected about what? About the x-axis. So this is what? This is the graph of the function. So any question, guys? Any question? Okay. So this is tells you the transformations affected what the cube root function. As I told you, we have what? If you have a number with x inside the root, that means we have what? We have h unit to the right if h is positive, and um, and h unit to the left if it is what? If this one is a positive, so that means it's to the left. If it is negative, so to what? To the right. And K describes the translation up or down. So if it's positive K, so that means K unit up. If it is negative, that means K unit what? K unit down. What about A? This number tells you if the sign of this number is positive, that means nothing. But if it's a negative, that means we have a reflection about what? A reflection about the x-axis. Okay, do you have Dismos, guys? Do you have Dismos on your cell phone with you? So I asked you to open what? Your Dismos and try to what? To graph this using Dismos. Okay, guys, you have 30 minutes, and I want you to describe what? To describe the characteristic of what? Of the graph. Okay, you have 1 minute. So take a screenshot for the graph and send me the graph for what? Via WhatsApp. Okay, so go ahead. The inflection point will be moved 3 units to what? Left, because the sign is positive, and 4 unit what? 4 unit down. So 3 units to the left, so 3. So here is -3. And we'll go down to what? -4. So we'll start, the inflection point will be here, negative what? -4. So the function should be drawn like this. It will be what, guys? Will be like this. So this is what? This is the inflection point. So now let's what? Let's study the characteristics. So what is the domain, guys? The domain is, yes. Yeah, man, what is the domain? Yeah, man,
يا مستر
what is the domain?
x equal to 0 عفوا sorry
What is the domain? What's the range? What is the reflection?
1 minute
Reflection point, inflection point. I'm sorry, not reflection. Inflection point. Inflection point. What's the inflection point, and what is the end behavior? So the domain is what, Yaman? Omar?
بعتها على الواتساب يا مستر.
So again, yeah, what's the domain?
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity to infinity. It's constant, guys. And the domain range?
Negative infinity.
Infinity to infinity. It's constant, guys. So the domain and range are what? Are the same. All real number. That means all real numbers. Okay. So what about the inflection point? The inflection point moved from 0 and 0 to become what? In front of -3 and -4. So all, we'll take the number with inside the root with different sign, will be -3, and the number outside the root with the same sign, negative what? -4. So this is the inflection point. Now, sign here is positive. That means we don't have what? We don't have a reflection. So the description of the end behavior, guys. So as x approach to infinity, y also approach to what? Infinity. Down here, as x goes to negative infinity, y also goes to what? Negative infinity. So this is the end behavior. So as x approach to infinity, y approach to infinity. As x approach to negative infinity, y approach to negative what? Negative infinity. Okay, any question, guys? So who can describe the transformation on this function, guys? Okay, let me leave it. The last point we wanted to talk about that, guys, is the cube root function is the inverse function of the cube function of what? The cubic function. So the cubic function and the cube root function, they are what? Represents inverse function. They are inverse what? Inverse function. So if you have like, if I give you f of x equals x power 3 and asked you to find the inverse, so let's find the inverse. So it will be y equals x power 3. We'll take cube root for both sides, so it will tell me x equals cube root of y. After that, we will what? Change x to f negative 1 of x. Changes will be x, so it will be cube root of what? X. That means f of x equals x power 3 and cubed root of x, they are what? They are inverse to each other. They are inverse to what? Each other. Any question, guys?